and thanks for staying with us. The customs controller in charge of Edo Delta speaks on revenue drive of the service. Also on customs report, the CG speaks on customs advancements all over the country. Plus, more report. I am Igeseme Itinye. Stay tuned. The Customs Controller General, as well as the Nigerian Customs Service, will continue to operate with government guidelines as approved by the federal government. He was speaking in Abuja. According to him, Nigerian importers and agents should continue to pay their right duty to government and maintain all goods approved by government before goods are imported into the country.
For those who knew when I took over the realm of administration of the Nigerian Customs Service, there was three key mandates that were given to me by Mr. President. And that's what we now today call in the Nigerian Customs Service as the 3 R's. And the directive was very clear. When I was sent to Nigerian Customs Service, Mr. President said, I want you to go there, reform the service, restructure, and then raise revenue. Those were his clear words, and they were very unambiguous. So I knew when I stepped out of his office, I know where I'm going, and I know what I have been given. So today, in my press briefing, I will stick to these 3 mandates. I will address each one of them as to how far we have been able to make progress and what are the challenges and then what we need to do going forward. The reforms that I talked about, which is the first part of it. And why do we choose reform as the first part of it? Because human capital is what makes an organization. If you're not able to get the human capital positively on your side, then the chances of success is very, very dismal. So in arranging those mandates, Mr. President is very much aware that we must first and foremost take cognizance of the human capital. And what do we do to make sure that you align the 15,000 plus Nigerian customs men and women along the line and the path of progress? So what we did was we created, first thing we needed to do is to look at our training and remodel it. And the best way we could do that is to come up with, we borrowed a leave from the Army, thanks to where's the colonel. We borrowed a leave from the Army. That was where I came from. We have what is called Nigerian Army TRADOC. TRADOC is Training Doctrine Command. It is the house where training is built, skewed, and then screwed and modeled to fit the people you want to train. So the first thing we decided to do is to create a training and doctrine department responsible for the development of doctrine for mental and moral and ethical direction of officers. Because you must do that to get the capital. Then we introduce the implementation of the simplified modern business, because now that we have now found a focus for the human capital, what is next is in our own business of import, export, processing. So we address the issue of implementation of simplified modern business process, which of course, if you know, one of the gridlock we do have at the port is because we have so extensive procedures of clearance. There are over, then I think about 17 or so, or less than that that you have to go through from one table to the other to get it sorted out. So the first thing to do is to reduce that time frame in order to make sure that an importer will not incur additional cost because he wants to clear his goods. Because if for every day after the first, how many days, 1 week, you begin to accumulate demurrage. And for every day the container stays in the hands of the terminal operators, they charge you. So the best thing you can do for any importer is to fast track the process of the clearance of this. So we address the issue of simplified process of export-import.
The custom boss says that the revenue drive of the service will continue to grow in 2023.
Yes, I thought I mentioned it that we were given the target of 3.019 trillion for the year 2022. And I told you that we have, so far, as at the last take, we have collected 2.143 trillion. So we're working towards making sure that we get to the target. But I've also told you our challenges that as a matter of fact, as a result of some of the factors, some of the key areas that were factored into the 3.019 was the collection of the telecommunication tax, which up to now we have not started. Also the collection of the carbonated drinks tax, which we started just in June or July. So we did not start at the time we were supposed to start, and those are factored. Those figures ought to have added to the 3.019. And but despite that, we're working very assiduously to make sure that we blocked other chances and see if we can, by the end of December, report to Nigerians that we have been able to make the 3.019 trillion target. Then, Voice of Nigeria is still issue on borders. Let me say, I don't think we should, we do not have the capacity and we do not have the money to build fence along our borders. Because even the United States that Trump said he was going to build, they discover that is not cost effective. It's not cost effective. And let me tell you, if the fact that you build fences does not mean that people will not still find a way of bringing. So what we are doing is making sure that we work closely with our neighbors. Is the best way of solving this problem. If we have a good understanding with our neighboring countries and we work based on the protocol of the ECOWAS protocol, all these things will stop. So we are working closely. As of today, between us and Niger, we have almost a perfect system there. There are virtually not, if there's smuggling going on is very minimal. Where we have problems is our borders with Benin Republic. That's where we are having problems. And we are working with them to see if we can create a synergy to make sure that we protect ourselves and protect each other. So the best way to is like smuggling is like I had to use this word. It's an old is one of the oldest do I call it career or exploit of human being. Between America and Canada, as sophisticated as they are, up to today's cigarette is being smuggled between those. So it is something that nations can only do the best to reduce it to the barest minimum. And that's what we're doing, to say we have stopped smuggling. Because even in your pocket, you can carry goods worth millions, especially for women. I'm sorry to say this. When they travel and they come back, they buy diamonds of millions. They put it in that bag, you will never know. You'll never know. So that's why sometimes when our custom officers say, "Can I see your bag?" they take offense. But the truth of the matter is that a lot of things can be smuggled through that. So how do we beat that? And that's why we are eager to deploy scanners.
The controller in charge of Tinkan Customs Command, the acting Deputy Controller General of Nigerian Customs Service, has said that the newly refurbished gates of Nigerian Customs Service at Ikeja will further improve the environment of the service. He was speaking in Lagos when he officially commissioned the gates in Lagos.
Well, I have the privilege of coming experience this morning. Got this thing for the good work done by the officers and men of the Customs Training College in Kenya. The good work will benefit mankind, and specifically for the benefit of the Nigerian Customs.
So we waited for it to come around.
Okay, some value addition. Officers, please. I would like to quickly say that what Nigeria needs right now is the best use of resources. And from what I've seen here, the senior officers we have at the training college has really put that to practice. In the face of very scarce resources, they've been able to do this. And these are truly added value to the college. And above all, it will add value to the regimental instructions that have been passed to these cadets. Because without regimentation, you cannot have a military or paramilitary discipline. And the commandant and the senior officers have done very well at that. I was indeed delighted and honored to be the first person to use the quarter guard. And I must sincerely tell you, I have used many quarter guards. I have inspected a lot of officers and men on guard, but I have not seen anything like this. I think the closest to it is what we have at our NCS headquarters. And it's my sincere hope that other area controllers and other commanders of units will replicate the good work the commandant and his very senior officers have done in this place.
First of all, I want to appreciate the management of Nigeria Customs Service, led by the Comptroller General, Colonel Amit Ibrahim Ali, CFR retired, for providing the enabling environment for us to add value to the college. Secondly, my thanks also goes to my immediate principal, which is the acting DCG Tradoc, for coming around to see what his subordinates is putting in the system. And we're thankful for all the support, the logistics and resources. I'm also thankful to my senior colleagues, the area controllers within Zone A, for their support at all times that we're in need, particularly my immediate senior brother, acting controller, Federal Operations Unit, for being there for us, for all this a great achievement.
You are watching the program Customs Report. The Customs Area Controller in charge of Edo Delta has said that the service will continue to surpass revenue drive given to it by the government. He warned importers and agents not to divert government funds to any other source, saying that anyone caught will be made to face the law. He has this to say.
Over 700 million. 700 million, over 700 million. And with that, I think it's unprecedented in the port to have, we're going to have over, what we actually mentioned was 10.9 billion. But by the time the excise for March comes in, it will be in excess of 11 billion. Because excise doesn't come in until the preceding month. So by the time the excise for March is now recorded, we'll have over 11 billion for the first quarter. So this is unprecedented as far as this port is concerned. So I'm very, very optimistic that with the level of stakeholder engagement we are enjoying, we intend to leverage on this and we believe that it will translate into higher revenue. It's unprecedented that you have about 5 major capital projects going on in a command at a time. All these are geared towards improvement in the welfare of officers, where you see barracks being renovated, new barracks being constructed, warehouse being constructed. I have never, in my 30 years stint in the service, I have never witnessed that. This is the very first time. So with that, we believe to whom much is given, much is expected. The other area of concern, just as I mentioned during my press briefing, is the area of security. There's this perceived security issues around Warri, and this, in a way, seems to send jitters to spines of would-be importers and traders. But it's no longer the way it used to be. It's more of being perceived than real. This issue about Warri, it's not real. The smuggling aspect of the job here is being anchored by the Federal Operations Unit Zone C, the Strike Force, and the Border Drill. So those are the 3 units that handle the anti-smuggling as far as the command is concerned. That's been done. That's why the warehouse, that explains why our government warehouse is at Benin City. So that's where the seizures are kept.
The president has officially signed the new Customs Act into law. The new law allows a serving custom officer to be appointed as the CG of Nigerian Customs Service.
First, I'm grateful. I'm grateful to Mr. President Muhammadu Buhari, because the truth of the matter is a lot of people have tried to change the very moribund law that customs have run for a long time. You'll be shocked at how long some of the laws that we have used had stayed before now. And so, as a retired custom officer, I am thankful. I'm grateful to Mr. President for this. And I'm very, very grateful because I'm certain that this signing would definitely positively impact the Nigerian Customs Service. What it means is, the wise men and women who considered and contributed to the enactment of this law has looked at the fact that it is important because the office of the Controller General is a very exalted office and is a very taxing office. It requires a lot of knowledge, a lot of stability. And so from the rank of an Assistant Controller General, and I'm sure as you know, in customs, the promotable rank is controller. And so when you eventually get to the rank of an Assistant Controller General, it means that you have seen all, you know all, you're a professional, you understand and have a broader knowledge of the way things should be. So in my opinion, I think it's a very, very good choice and a very good decision for them to have chosen from the rank of Assistant Controller General upwards. So it means, yes, that's what it means, because a law have been signed, into law, that going forward, you can't have an outsider becoming the Controller General of Customs. What it means now is you can only have a serving officer from the rank of Assistant Controller General upwards. I'm thanking him. Usually it's not very easy for you to have someone to come from outside of any service, anywhere in the world, to be as engrossed as it was into the Nigerian Customs Service, as committed as it was to Nigerian Customs Officer. Maybe I should not be using words because he's still serving. He's still the Controller General of Customs today, as he has been. He's contributed a lot. The promotion of customs has been very, very rapid. He's done a lot for the upgrade of training. You've had a lot of custom officers gone to the Nigerian War College, and a lot as per training and retraining of officers, and particularly about promotion, because that has been it was a major problem before he came into office, and he has done a lot for that. And I must not forget the fact that he has also helped to increase the salary of officers, which is very, very paramount, because all of us, when we leave our home, what we're going to do is to ensure that we're able to earn money so that we can feed our family. I mean, like you've mentioned, he's provided all the necessary, I mean, most, maybe not all, but most of the essential equipment that officers need. Vehicle, as you have mentioned, arms and ammunition, training, like I earlier mentioned, motivation. Is one person that I've seen would go out of his way to really, really motivate officers. And I've also seen that is a leader that is hands-on. He's one leader that tore, I mean, almost all the command in the whole federation. I mean, truth of the matter is, as you said, I'm a retired custom officer, and I've had the privilege of working, you know, on this other side as someone who has also written stories and news about the Nigerian Customs Service, and I've seen in the present Controller General of Customs, Colonel Hamid Ali, retired, as someone who really believes in what he does. As a leader, he has shown discipline is also very, very important. The Customs Service is a disciplined job, and as a disciplined man that he is, coming from the Nigerian Army, has really brought that to bear in the Nigerian Customs Service, and you have our custom officers more disciplined than they used to be and more committed. He's the one who introduced the Customs Police. Custom Police, in my opinion, is a very, very ingenious idea, because for that reason, you then have a lot of custom officers who are able to police their fellow custom officers, and the results is there for everyone to see. Clearly, you see, whatever we do in the Nigerian Customs Service is geared towards revenue collection and the suppression of smuggling. And so the law, everything in it, is geared towards ensuring that primary duty of the average customs officer is carried out most effectively and efficiently. And so you can be sure that revenue will go up, the suppression of smuggling will be higher, and you're going to have a better, more functional, more efficient custom officers, custom service and officers going forward.
I'm grateful to God, first and foremost, because every good and perfect thing comes from Almighty. So I'm grateful to God. I'm grateful to my country, Nigeria. I'm grateful to the Nigerian Customs Service for being able to work in this remarkable service for 35 years and retire today as Assistant Controller General of Customs. I'm grateful to the CGC also, and also to the entire management for finding me worthy to be a member of management. Last year, Zone A made 1.9 trillion out of the 3.1 we collected. And I know they're going to do better this year, notwithstanding the economic downturn. Yes, the CGC, and with its three-point agenda, has been able to raise revenue, restructure, and reform. We've had massive reforms during the course of our CGC's 8 years. We has raised revenue, and now it has even automated the Nigerian Customs Service. We're having end-to-end automation. We're eliminating people-to-person contact to minimize corruption to its barest minimum. We're fortifying all the borders through the coordinated border management. So I'm comfortable that Zone A, Nigerian Customs Service in general, will do well.
How do you feel?
Oh, we're excited that the SEMA laws have been reviewed, and we're hopeful that with the implementation of this new SEMA, the officers are better protected, they can better do their job, and they know that with the SEMA, we have so many new laws coming on board. You know, we have so many obsolete laws, like the 600 Naira penalty, but now your penalty depends on your offense. So there are many new changes that will come on board with the SEMA. No, it's supposed to be a 25% penalty. It's not actually 5 million. So it really depends on the offense. And there are some offenses that you cannot even pay. You have to go to jail. So the officers will be better protected to do their jobs without fear of being attacked. Oh, the new cadets, they're in very good hands with the commandants. Harrison is a round hole in the round peg, and I know that with that kind of leadership in the training college, we could see the major things. The facelifts he has already given the college within a few months of his assumption, and he has been exposed to a lot of trainings locally and internationally. A lot of the cadets will come out better and well reformed and disciplined. Nigeria is our country. The Nigeria Customs Service is our service, and we are very, very, very proud of this service. I'm going to enjoin all the officers who are leaving behind to keep the flag flying. We're outside, we're there, ready for them to seek our words of wisdom and help if needed. We are ready.
Just before we round up this week edition of the program Customs Report, we brought you a report where serious what millions of naira was intercepted by some commands in the country. For me, Igeseme Itinye, thanks for watching.